Hi, I'm Billy, and it's been a couple of years. I just want to tell everybody about my experience with a 130 Max. First of all, I want to thank everybody for all the videos they put up to help me get started. Maybe something in my video will help someone else. When the machine came, it was well packaged. All the parts were there. It was pretty easy to put together. A few days after I put the machine together, I had a four-way bypass, so I tried to figure out ways to make life a little bit easier till I healed up. Started to get the smaller machine, but I decided on the 130 with the larger logs. A lot of people will give you trees that are hit by lightning or they want to get them out of their yard. They'll just give you the tree just to haul it off. I built this little trailer probably over 15 years ago just to haul firewood, mulch, limbs, just whatever on the back. I haul lumber on it sometimes now. It's a pretty sturdy trailer. I've had as much as 1,500 pounds on the back.
So Billy was carrying 5-gallon buckets of sawdust at a time to the mulch pile. To make it easier, he built this dump tractor from 2 lawn mowers. You can find cheap old mowers on Marketplace. My husband is an inventor. He makes cool stuff like this around here. He needed lightweight projects after his surgery.
The motor still runs good. There's two things to do here. When I throw a really big log on the mill, working by myself, I had to have everything working to my advantage. So I use this to walk the big log over to the stops. This is another thing that comes in real handy to chalk a big log from rolling back on me. I shoved this over there. This is just an old car jack. I extended the handle so it'd get out and be a little easier to use, but it works fine. This little nut right here needs greasing. If you're gonna let it sit for a long time, it froze up, so I put a little Vaseline on it, but it will freeze on there if you let it sit for a while.
Wait.
I had to modify this. Stuck a bucket inside there and put this on top so I don't lose any sawdust. I pretty much recycle everything. The wood, run it through a chipper, and the sawdust, mix it with hay, put it on the garden.
All right.
The only problem I've had with the mill since I've owned it is the back of this was honed out too big for the bearing, and it was wobbling and caused it to wear. I took a center punch and some JB weld and fixed it. I could have called them. Everybody says they're real good, but I was in a hurry and I wanted it fixed, so I just fixed it myself. It works fine. I don't use this scale a whole lot because the machine is sitting so high off the ground. I'm looking at it on an angle, so I don't get a good reading. So I just do it this way. Really easy. I just stick for each side of the piece of lumber I'm cutting. That's for a 2x4. I got another one here when I'm cutting for my beehives. I put one hand on the handle and come in here and just get it like that. It works good enough for the barns and stuff I'm doing. If I was doing houses, I'd get a little bit more particular with it, but this works fine for what I'm doing. Usually every time before I take a piece of wood off the mill, I'll take this thing, get the sawdust off. I find if I leave the sawdust on the wood, it tends to mold a little easier in the humid weather, but usually I do it like that, rip the piece of wood off, do it like that again, and that helped me a little bit. This part of the machine's been sitting in the weather for a couple of years now. I've not noticed any rust on anything. Everything's holding up really well. You have to be careful when you're transporting these things. I learned that the hard way really fast. That put some vice grips here in 4 places to hold it. These little straps right here, it'll break them like nothing if you stop or start real fast. So I use 4-inch straps now if I move it, and strap it down really good, because it's a lot more weight right here than what you would think. I usually drop this little thing on top of a cant, and I can mark it real quick for 2x4s every which way I'm cutting them. So it makes things a little easier. This comes in really handy. Every time I mash that pedal and that thumb comes down, I'll be saying, "Thank you, Lord, you made life so easy." I built this thing probably back in the 80s. Most all the wood busters, you had to pick the wood up and put it on the machine. This one right here, not that I'm lazy, I just don't like working no harder than I have to. But you can see the wood, I got a lot of the slabs cut up for firewood here. It comes off the mill. One of them that are big enough, I'll use them to start the fire with and burn. This is another idea I got from YouTube. It's really helped me out a lot with the YouTube videos. On this blade right here, I've marked where it's welded together. It's already got nail wrote on it. The ones that I hit nails with, I resharpen it. If I suspect the log got a nail in it, I'll put the used blade on that's already been hit a nail before until I get through it, and then I'll swap blades. I don't never try to use a dull blade. When it gets to where I'm pushing on my machine and the motor's loading, I take and swap the blades. It seems like it works much better. I get probably 4 to 5 sharpenings out of a blade before it fatigues and breaks usually, and that's good enough for me.
When we went to buy a 2x4x8, it was about $7. When we tried to sell our timber, they offered us a fraction of what it was worth. So we decided to cut our own. We have no regrets with the Woodland Mills 130 sawmill. In our opinion, we still have a new sawmill and look forward to cutting a lot more wood this fall. Now here's a couple of the bigger projects we built with our own wood. The sawmill has pretty much paid for itself. Thanks for watching our video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks, and God bless.